So hey guys, in this session we are going to see what is behavioral header. So these header are like additional header, a custom header we can say that we can pass while testing our API in the design center. So whenever we enable the mocking service part, there we can pass some additional headers and the value so that to test what is the behavior of our API. So this header will have some value like this header ms2 delay example error level randomized status code. So we are going to see each one one by one and we'll observe API designer part. And here I have developed one RAML. So here I have included the data type for this. And then we have one common this library file where I have included the client credentials. So client ID enforcement policy. Let me show you what are the things that I have added here. So the first thing is this library file I have where I have specified the client credentials. So this client ID and client secret is required in the header part. Then here also we have the error response. So I haven't imported this error response in the main RAML file. Instead of doing this, I have directly added. So we can import the another one also by just using giving over here the comma, and we need to write the common dot, and if you see in the drop down you will be getting some option for that. Yeah, so here we have this error response. So in this way we can also import the error response. Okay, so now let's see yeah, so here we have this data type. So in the data type validation, I have specified what will be the format of my data, the JSON response and the JSON request as well. So we have two endpoint, get and post. So for the post, we have the request and response, whereas for the get, we have only the response structure. So I have specified that validation here. So this is for the get. So in the get, these are the things that will be present in the response. For the post request one, I am expecting something like this. And for the post response, I am expecting some response in this format. Okay. Now, here we have this example file for the response I have externalized here. Now let's go and test the API. So let me call the first endpoint, first method of an endpoint get, and let me increase the window size for this. So here if you see we have this query param, and the query param we have this two kind of value that we are expecting, and in the header I'm expecting this client ID and client secret, and the responses we have 200, 400, 404 and 500. So when I hit this API, let's say these are the default value that I'm passing over here, and if I'm hitting this API, I'm getting a 200 OK response. Now let's say for example you want to see how you can see the error file error example that you have defined. For that we need to pass an additional thing in the header part. We'll click on this add part, and here I will write ms2 hyphen status code, and let's say I want to see for the 400 because I have defined the 400 here. So this is the error response we have here. Now let's go to here, go to get. I should be getting that one. For that I need to add this ms2 status code 400. If I click on this send, I'm getting the expected response. So this is the response that I have defined for this error one. If you want to test like any other, let's say I'm not passing this one, and if I click on this send, it will give me the generic error format. So in a scenario where you want to test your custom error response that you have defined in this mock URL part or mocking service part, then you need to specify in this format. You need to pass the status code. So as like this, let's say we want to check for the 404. Then I need to click here and I'm getting the response something like this. So this is the response structure that I have defined. So in the similar way, as I have passed this status code, we have multiple one also. Let's say for the MS2 delay. So as we have passed the status code, let me show you some example of this delay function. So what it does actually, it will give you, it will create a delay in your response format. Actually, when you get a response, there is some time slot, like what time it takes to complete this process. So whenever we want to make any custom delay for that, we will use this ms2 delay part, and it expect a range of value from 1 to 10,000 millisecond. So let me show you how we can pass this one. So let's say I want this 404 error code with some delay. So here time is 0 millisecond. Let me add one thing, ms2 delay, and the value I am expecting over here, let's say 500 to 1000 millisecond. Now if I click on this hit button, okay, let me increase the time. So let's say I want to give from uh, 9,000 to 10,000 millisecond, and if I click on this send, now it is taking time to process the request. And then once this times part got over, we will have the response. So this part is not getting updated over here. So the main idea is to creating a delay between the response of an API. Now we have the another one. For example, this is ms2 example. So from here, let's say in your API part here, I have included only one example file. Let's say we have another example as well. So let me go to the get endpoint, and here we have this. So now let's see, let's say we have one another example also. So two example files. So I will do one thing. I'll give name one, call this. Let me remove this part completely. Include, okay, example. 1 minute. Include, then example, then the 200 response. So this is the first response, and let's say we have another response also. So let me give the another key name here to, and we have a response something like this, message second response. Okay, so for one endpoint we have two response. So if I want to see the another response, how I'm going to see that one? Okay, what is there? It should be array. Okay, I have a specified array here. So let me give an array. Okay. For the meantime, I can do one thing. I can just comment it out. Okay. Now here we have the two response. First one is the custom response that I have defined in this external file, and the another one is this second response. And I want to see this particular second response in my mocking part. So what I will do, I will write over here ms2 example, and I will give the name of that example. So here we have this two key 1 and 2, so I will give 2 here. Once I give 2, and if I send it, it is giving me the second response. Let's say if I don't give this one, then what will happen? If I click on this send, so this is now giving the second one, but if I continue clicking on this part, it will give me the first response. Okay, so in the alternate way, it will give you, or ideally sometime it will give you only the first response. So to just to check with a short interval of time, then we can pass something like this, and then we'll have the another response as well in our response part. Okay, now let me go to the, so here we have this another thing which is error level. So here we will specify what kind of error we are expecting, and like what kind of error we are going to have in the response. So for that we can just specify this ms2 error level in the header key of key part in the place of header key. So here we, this is the key and this is the value inside the header. So in the key part I will specify this ms2 error level, and then we will give the value request only, server only, and all. Now here there is another one, ms2 randomize. So this will help you when, let's say, you have defined a data type. For example, I have defined a data type over here. So let me just delete this part. Let me remove this part as well. And here I have a specified type. Okay. Now, for example, you have the data type for this. So this is your data type, and you want to have the sample response, which you are going to use in this example file. So for that, what we can do, we can go over the get endpoint, and in the try, once you click on the try it, in the header section, you just need to pass ms2 randomize, and here you just need to pass true. So once you set it true, and we haven't specified the default or the sample response for this particular endpoint, if I click on this hit button, I will get a custom or a sample response. So see here in the first name section we have this value, in the area code we have this. So why we are getting this in the minus, like having a minus symbol, is just because I have specified here area code is integer. So integer, let us start from the negative and go to till positive part. Okay, so let me give you a clear walkthrough here. What are the things? So first name is string, last name is string, and here it is integer. Then in the account data we have this another object. Under the object we will have these properties. So let me go to here, click on this get point, click on try it, and in the header section write ms2 hyphen randomize, and once I click on true, now see here in this get response that I have imported the data type, I have given it as an array. So the particular thing that I have defined is an object, and I'm in the example part or in the response part, I'm expecting an array of object. So once I click on this send button, here you see here we have this array, and this is the first object, this is the second object, this is the third, and similar on it will go on. So this default value is getting created for each data type that we have defined. Now, let's say, for example, you want to add some custom thing, uh, like min length for the string and the maximum length, and the, let's say in the area code you want a value which should lie from within a given range, then you can give the minimum and maximum under this data type. So here, let's say this account number you want to specify. So for this, you can do something like this. You can give type integer, okay, min to, here you need to write minimum to maximum 4. Okay, now here I have specified in the integer value I will have minimum value 2 and maximum value will be 4. So whatever the value will come within this range. Okay, so now let's test this API, this particular endpoint. So we have specified in the account number section. I'll go and try it. Click on add ms2 randomize, and here I will get true. Now send. Now if you see, the account number is 3, this is 3, this is 2, 2, 2, 2. So the value will start from 2 and it will lie between 2 to 4. Now we have this status code. So we have seen this status code, how we can manually check our custom error response. Now here we have this ms2 status code selection. So whenever we define some set of error code in our RAML, we the ideal way how the mocking service URL will act is, it will take all the error code and it will sort it in a ascending order. So let's say here we have 500, 409, 400, and 200. Then the this RAML will the mocking service URL automatically return 200 because it will assume that this status code selection is first. So by default, whenever we hit an API, we get only 200 success response instead of 201 because 201 is greater than the 200. So which is the minimum one? It will call that particular status code. Now let's see. Let's say we want to just get a random response, any particular, and we don't want in ascending order. Then we can just set it to the random part. So for this, we'll go here and here we'll write, okay, not here, here we'll write ms2 status code selection, and here I'm going to give random. Once I click on this send, I'm getting 400. If I click on send, again it is 400, so it is value must be okay. We need to pass it in the capital format. Okay, send. So this is the custom error response that we have defined. Click on send, it will change. Now this is the internal server error that I have defined. If I click on this send, now I'm getting 200. Okay, so this 200 okay response, I am getting an empty array because I haven't given the example here. If I click on this send again, so it will keep on repeating. So each time it will give you different response. So now if you see, we have this 417.5 millisecond. Let me add the delay one here again. Let me see changes. Delay, and let me give 9,000 to 10,000. 10,000. If I click on this send, now it is creating delay. Let's see populate the time as well or not. Yeah, so earlier it was taking 417 millisecond. Now it have taken 9,452 millisecond. It's because we have created a delay which lies between the 9,000 to 10,000. Okay, if you have any question, please write it in the comment section. If I know the answer, I will give it. If not, we'll find it together. Thanks for watching this video.